Hi, it's Nannette, and it's Beth from Divine Love Group. Well, I'm not from Divine. Well, sure, I'll be part of it too. Why not?
Carol, it's an open door.
Today we were talking, and we wanted to do a video on the energy right now. Whereas I know not everybody feels energy, so this is a way, if you feel it or if you don't feel it, you can break into it and use it for your good. And I'm no astrologer, but I can feel the energy. And the energy is kind of fast paced. It's pulling things up to be looked at. What do you want to say about the energy? You might have more to say than me.
I don't know about that. Again, I'm no astrologer either. I know that like it seems like every single possible planet is in retrograde right now. So what what that is looking back and pulling up old things that you need to deal with. And it doesn't matter how much work you've done. And I've spent a number of years trying to look at and face everything that I need to look at to let it go and let it heal so that I can just be me. Yet you go through all of these layers, and then you get to these times and so much is going on right now. And I find myself looking back and saying, really, that instance or that person is still somehow rattling around in my consciousness. Like I haven't thought of them in, I don't know how many years, or that situation. And it comes up. And I mean, I love those because they're so easy. All you have to do is say, oh, there it is. I don't want that anymore. And it goes away. Like those are the easiest things you can possibly clear and release. But
it's true though. You just reminded me of when my guides were helping me clear, the issues I've had in relationships in my life. And they brought someone in that I would have never even tried to clear. I wasn't in any kind of intimate relationship with them, but they had a part in it. So when these things are brought up to your consciousness, then you really, it's like a hello, take a look at me kind of thing. It's true.
Because the root of what you're looking at or what you want to deal with, like your mind is going to take you in one place. And sometimes it takes you to the right place. But your consciousness will take you someplace sometimes that you just never would have thought of looking there. And it's the root of all of these, branched off issues that come back to whatever root issue it was. And so that's kind of what's been at least coming up for me lately, are these really seemingly insignificant moments in time that are actually really significant root systems for who I became and what my thought process was, and more importantly, what my belief system became because of it.
Yes, and I think that given a practical exercise would be good, because I think that we mostly have the tendency to push away, and with the way the energy is working, it's like if you push it away, it's going to come back. Nope, you're not pushing me away. I'm coming back. So one really good way to, when you have time, you have to have the time to delve into that, is to put yourself in a relaxed position, close your eyes or whatever, sit quietly and delve into that, the situation or the person. Stand there with that. Let it make you cry if it makes you cry. Let it make you angry. Be in it for a minute. Be in it. Feel it, because you need to know what it is, right? Because it could be anger. It could be sadness. It could be an anxiety. So you need to know what it is. So you sit in it until you're ready to go to the next step, which I think is, when you help someone that has a problem, you're an observer, right?
Right.
And you tend to see things that they don't see. So you sit in it until you purge that a little bit, and then you stay there, but you step aside as an observer, right?
Yep.
And see what there is to see from that angle, kind of thing, And then go ahead. Do you have something to add to that?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm listening.
And then you have to learn to trust yourself, because it'll all come to you. I know a lot of people like to go to other people, but if you sit in that, if you sit in it, and then you walk outside of it, observe it, you're going to see what it is you need to face with this. And then you know, you can get guidance if you need to, but you should know what you need to do. I mean, if it's a sadness, then you have to look at why is this still making me sad? What can I do about this? You know what I mean? Where do I need to stand more in my power? Do I need to mourn it more? What do I need to do? You know, and then you do it. You do it until it's gone. I mean, that's the only advice I have. We both have done this where it's come back, and you're like, darn it, I already did this. Come on.
Yep. But it's layers, you know, and we've talked about that before. It's always going to be layers. So even though, you know, we are queens literally of beating ourselves up for like, I've done that, why is it back? You know, it's a human nature kind of thing. But I mean, standing here saying it's going to happen to absolutely everybody. It's going to keep coming back. You keep peeling back the layers. And I think one really important thing that I have learned also is that you keep asking questions, you know, in the situation while you're observing it, you know, when you're looking for the root cause, when you're observing it, and then after the fact, and then if it comes back again, you ask questions in a different way, and you try to make sure that you are, even the tiniest change in how you ask a question, you get a different answer. It's just your own perspective change opens you up to a different answer, and you're only going to hear what you're ready to hear. So if you are willing to change your perspective just a little bit and ask it in a different way, you're going to end up getting a different answer as a result. So it's like, you know, instead of just taking a layer off, this time maybe you get a layer and a half off, maybe you get 2 layers off, because you were willing to open yourself up. Like that tiny act of just asking a question in a different way has such a ripple effect and such a huge impact on your healing process.
And you know that you've healed it completely when it comes back around and it causes no real reaction. Your stomach doesn't feel weird. Your heart
You're automatically in witness mode. You're just like,
yes. So, and it's a beautiful thing. It's amazing. And it's a lot of work, but it's worth every second of it. It's worth it.
It is. And I actually pulled out, because as we've already established, I love cards. So, but I also love water, right? So like water is just like an amazingly beautiful, you know, channel of emotion and consciousness and life. And it's literally everything to me. So I have these water crystal oracle cards based on Emoto's work. Because I knew that we were coming in and talking about purging and release, I pulled these 2 specific ones out, and I thought it was interesting. It's the only, it's not a huge deck, it's 48 cards. So there are 2 cards within there that deal with release, and it's the only thing that it's the only topic in there that I see 2 of. So we have one that is kind of an overall release, just a general healing, and that's the water crystal that goes with it. And I'm showing because these water crystals have a very you know, high impact, at least on me. Yeah. So this is kind of the overall healing, and I love like the golden orange hue of it. Like that's a very warm and healing color, but then like the orange, you know, the tint to orange, like to me tells me it's like it's branching out more into it's an expansive healing. It's not just like, you know, like a cocoon healing. It's like a healing and then like a blossoming out. I don't know how else kind of to put that.
No, so I get it. Yeah.
There's that. And then this one, the adrenal halo, which is also release, is more aligned to just the adrenal gland system. And so I pulled out the book, and the book in this really has very little to say. And I love it because I always talk about emotions having like a high and a low version also. So it's, I hadn't thought of this, but release and suppression are the opposites, which of course it makes perfect sense, but I hadn't thought of it before walking into this video. And the quote that they give to go with it is, "You inspire me." So I use this kind of stuff, you know, much like your exercise, in kind of a more tangible way than us just talking about this stuff. You know, number one, you can go in and do that heavy work, and that is hard work. And so sometimes you need a little bit of prep time and a little bit of loosening up. So I have a water cooler downstairs. right? So I take these cards and I flip the side that it doesn't really matter because words work, or the image, you know, I usually end up flipping the water crystal side on the bottom, and it
Oh
charges
yeah,
my
yeah.
water with whatever I want. So right now my water's charging with the soul card, because I was like, oh, I love that. Like, it's just, you know, whoever drinks from it, I have people who are actually connected to my water jar. It's really funny to me, but they connect in because they like the stuff that I do to my water.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, like, our imaginations, you know, like that's our only limit, really. So like doing
Absolutely.
this kind of stuff and putting this into your water, or sometimes I take dry erase markers, you know, and I write on my water jugs or bottles or my cups,
Oh
or,
yeah, yeah.
you know, if I'm making soup or a tea, like I write on everything that contains my food and water. If I'm in a place that I'm like, I can't seem to break through this. And if you can like break through it with something like this, you know, and then
Yeah.
jump into an exercise, it's almost like just like loosening everything up. So then you're like, okay, now I'm ready to face it and let it go, because it's not such a solid, scary mass at that point.
Well, we could also add a light language to help with that
Yeah. I
too.
mean, this is one of so many. This is just my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, light language is huge to it.
But I wanted to channel a little, because you know we both can channel. So I think we should channel a little bit about the energy. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? I don't
No,
care.
go ahead. I'll see if anything comes through. I don't know. I might just be chit-chatting and
Okay.
channeling as we go, or I might do something in pen. I don't know. See.
So what I'm getting about the energy is, I'm just going to listen. I'm not going to full channel. Is that this is an opportunity. It's another. They said it's another opportunity. It's another opportunity to take the time to heal what you need to heal, and then when though later in the month is going to be open for new possibilities. You know, all kinds of new possibilities, new beginnings, new whatever. When the energy changes. I don't know the date. The near the end of the month, I think.
Yeah, towards the end of the month, there's a lot of celestial events going on. I know there's a full moon, there's an eclipse, there's, you know, planets going direct. Like there's so much happening at the end of this month. It's the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere anyway. Tons. So much.
Yes, when you
shining
said
light.
that, I just saw big celebration.
Yeah. Well, the sun in summer, like it's return, like it's ultra significant this year, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So like this can be used as a clearing on any level. So you can have groups of people. There are groups of people. I know there are groups of people that are working to clear things, you know, on more collective levels too. I don't want to go into details. I'm sure we all know the kinds of things that people are working on. And so this is a really good time for that. But it is also stirring up things that need to be looked at. Oh, yes, okay. I just got images in my mind. All right, you take it. I'm done with that. I don't want to talk about anything controversial. I'm sure other people will be like, I got that image too. I saw it.
Yeah. Well, world events right now, right? So yeah, so I agree with all of that. I think June is going to be it's a pretty pivotal month as far as energy goes. And what I mean is there is going to be so much that gets stirred up. It's personally and collectively. And I would argue there's no difference between the two, right? The personal and the collective are absolutely one and the same. Because number one, oneness. And that's such a big concept. And I don't know that any human genuinely understands it to the level. So we'll put that out there. And yes, I acknowledge it, but more, you know, down to earth and relatable to all of us. I just can see, and I know I don't know why, but I just know that anytime I work on something and anytime I clear something, I might do it in just the tiniest different way than someone else. But that tiny little different way then gets added to the collective consciousness and becomes another option for somebody else to reach up and grab. Or I don't have the, maybe everything already exists up in the collective consciousness on how to feel and resolve this. So I'm just able to pull that down. If there's not,
because time isn't real.
Yeah, so it goes back and forth, and it's like, you're helping you, just like everybody always says, if you say something to hurt someone, you're really just hurting yourself. It's the same way with healing though. So everything that's going to be coming up is going to be difficult, but all you need to do is look at it, find the root, and say, I don't want this anymore, because there's so much freedom in that release. And so I think maybe we can dive into some more like very tangible things that people can do, because I do think that this is going to be a little bit of a difficult month. And to say that there's light at the end of the tunnel is probably the biggest understatement ever. So I'm just the kind of person who always just put your head down and push through it. Sometimes I feel like I almost lack compassion, because I don't understand, like, you're this far from something really beautiful, like just push through that last piece, and it's the hardest piece to push through. I know, I feel it, I live it too, but just do, and it's going to be incredible.
I know, and you go to moments, and I'm just going to say the truth that we've gone through. We've been in moments where we felt like our soul was being torn apart, but we still pushed through it, because, oh my God, to get to the other side of that, it's so worth the pain. There's a lot of pain, but there's such beauty at the end of the tunnel. Go ahead.
It also teaches you, though, I think this is really important. Like, there are things that you need to sit down and face head on, and you need to question, and you need to go deep, and you need to look at it, and you need to sit with it. But like I said earlier, there's also things that you can just say, oh, that, done. Don't want that in my consciousness anymore. And you can just kind of flick it away, and it's gone forever. So, as you go, you start learning which is which, because of course, sometimes we have the tendency to want to flick something away that we really need to go deep on. And all that is, in your mind, it's pushing it away. And in my mind, it's pushing it down. When I started doing a lot of work, my legs genuinely felt heavy. Like I had shoved so many years of things down that energetically, my legs were so heavy. So for me, because of that, one of the things that I came up with for my own healing was to do the work as far as like figuring the things out, asking the questions. And then because I'm so closely tied to water, I either use water or golden light, and I open my crown and I let stuff go down. But I specifically put either like little pricks in my fingers so that things can like go down my arms. And like, I want to make sure that if you're looking at me standing up, no matter where the water or the light pulls things, there's an exit point, right? So anything that might be pushed down and trapped in my arms comes out through my fingertips, and I allow an opening there. I put little like hose spigots on my feet, basically in my mind, and I open them. And so that when I flood myself, I'm genuinely clearing myself. I'm not just filling myself, I am clearing myself and then filling myself. And it's the combination of the two that make a really big difference. And the freedom and like just the lightness, both like lightness and brightness that come from that kind of an exercise, it's just remarkable. I mean, it's just when you feel that, it's like this tightness in your core, you stand up a little straighter, your shoulders are a little like more square. You just like, there's just something, it's almost impossible to put into words. Either you know what it feels like or you don't. But that's one exercise I use a lot, because I tend to push things down. It's a very visual.
And that's a great, that's a great exercise if you tend to push them down. Now, if you push them away from you, that's a whole different story.
It is.
Because honestly, I think you find it everywhere around you. When you push it away from you, so you have this heaviness inside of you, but you find the heaviness outside of you. You find the heaviness around you because you attract it, because you pushed it away. You're denying it. You're denying it. You're denying it. I'm not doing this. This isn't me. This isn't my problem. But you know it's there, so it kind of attracts that same type of energy. And so what you have to, I mean, I would use the shower and just clean yourself, because the energy is usually on the outside of you, but it's closing in when you push it out. So the shower is a really good, helpful way of doing it. You know, see all the energy, see your energy cleaning, going down, you know, but also to go take the time to meditate and to examine these things. And when you push them away, which I think a lot of people do the pushing away thing, I think you can tell if you have a lot of ailments in your body that you're pushing it in or down. But if you don't, if your ailments are in the outside world, you tend to push it out, and you could have a little bit of both. But you have to take the time to meditate, and you have to say, okay, what do I need to look at? And you need to delve into it. You need to let it into your energy field. Don't be afraid. You're powerful. You have to take the time to see what you need to do with it, because otherwise it's going to chase you around. Do you want to be chased around? I don't.
No.
I see energy balls chasing people around.
Right. Well, and that's true for other people's energy that's like kind of, you know, sometimes it gets a little bit flung at you, or your own, and you're pushing away. So that's nice, because it has a dual, you know, dual meaning and dual use. Yeah, no, so showers are always amazing. And like I said, I really connect well with water, and I have learned so much from water. I'll do completely separate videos on that, but every time you connect with water, it's an opportunity to cleanse yourself in a way, right? So whether it's a shower or a bath or swimming or washing your hands or doing the dishes. I mean, doing the dishes is probably one of my most meditative and best times to get information. But you have all of these opportunities. And then of course, you know, drinking water, anytime you're eating food, like you can set your intentions are so strong, like give yourself a chance. Just set your intention for wanting to release, for being aware of what you need to release, or, you know, any number of things that you're looking for in life. And you will get your answers if you are open to hearing them. Sometimes they're not easy to hear, and sometimes they're not fun. But again, the other side's worth it. And the energy right now is, it's teetering, right? I mean, like there's a lot going on, and it doesn't even matter. Like we could probably say this at most any time in the world. But there's like such huge hope too. Like hope is rising despite all of the like weights that are getting put on society in a way, or that we're allowing, or that we're pulling in, or that we're looking at and facing. You know, we can turn it in a bunch of different directions, but I loved seeing that like hope is rising up so strongly.
I agree. Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. I don't really have anything else to say unless you do. I think if anyone has any questions, they can ask us below, and we'll answer. We'll be sure to answer. But yeah, try to do the exercise if you want to do this. If you want to work on clearing things, because I do see the energy changing drastically in the next few weeks. So
yeah, and I keep hearing over and over, it's always darkest before the dawn, and it's getting stronger and stronger. And I've heard that for some time, and it's just it's almost like a mantra that I hear now, and it's, you know, it's getting stronger and it's getting more powerful. That like it's always darkest before the dawn. Like you have to remember that.
Yes.
And nothing is
just
quite
like,
as it seems either.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just like law of attraction. The one thing they don't talk about in all of the, you know, the videos that they do and stuff, there's one thing that they really leave out that's so important, that right before the manifestation, you will see the exact opposite of it. Look for the opposite. Look for the opposite of your manifestation. Now what happens is they don't tell people that. People see the opposite and they give up. That's it. It's over. right?
Yep.
There's the opposite. Oh shit, here it comes. Here comes my manifestation. This is amazing. You have to understand that it's a balance. There's a balance. You have to have the absence before you can have the presence. I don't know why, but do you know why? I don't know why. I don't know where that came from, actually.
I don't either. I've never quite heard it or thought of it in that way. I like that. It just, to me, it's always felt like it's a leap of faith. Like, are you willing? You know, if you're pulling this in, because truth be told, sometimes you go to manifest something, and right before it comes in, you're like, who did that? It wasn't me. I don't want that. You know, so maybe you change your mind. But it's generally a leap of faith to me. And like, how strongly do you believe in yourself, and how strongly do you know that you are completely supported? And that's a hard thing to do. But
that's true. That's
huge.
Again, that's
surrender.
That's the word. Surrender. Surrender to the leap of faith. Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which happens in divine timing when you're patient.
Okay. You didn't have to go that far.
I
You
did.
didn't have to go there. You didn't have to put that last word in.
Oh, just for fun.
Let's strike. Your Honor, I strike that from the record, please. That was just mean.
Can't strike the truth. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Well, I hope this was helpful. I really, we just wanted to give some ideas out, and hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we could go down 100 different rabbit holes. So if anybody has any, like, you know, places where it would be helpful to do a deeper dive, you know, if it's more tangible things that you can do, or, you know, in any particular direction, just let us know. We'll happily get on and chit chat and
do another video
out there that we possibly can. It's fun.
It's so much fun.
I know. So thanks for always coming back. Thanks for coming up with this, Nannette. I love it.
Me too.
All right. We love you guys.
I love you. Mwah.
Bye.